Welcome. Now, Beth, let's start when you first bought your house. Tell me, how long were you saving up to buy a house and how old were you?
I was 23 at the time, so I first got into working in the bus industry in about April 2013. And
Previous to that, you were working in Woolworths,
Woolworths, yeah,
and were you full time?
full time, yeah.
But that didn't pay enough for you to get a mortgage.
No,
So
I don't think so, unless you're with a partner or you've got some substantial money.
so
Yeah.
you were single at the time. Uh, did you always think bus driving was romantic? That's where I want to go, or was this something like out of left field?
Never thought about being a bus driver. My thoughts as far as that was concerned was like, why would I ever want to do that? Like bus drivers are typically kind of like, like the older, like more angry kind of generation or
Old angry
whatever.
men.
Yeah, like
sit down.
yeah, in this typical
Yeah.
like square box looking. Then it's not really like an attractive looking job.
Yeah.
And so my mind never went to bus driving at all. I was thinking like, what can I do that can earn, a good amount of money that can tick that box. And I didn't want to have to, nothing against study, there's nothing wrong with study, but like, what can I do that can earn enough money that will tick the box to get into a mortgage.
And can I say, once you had the house, you're hoping to meet someone and you'd like kids?
Yeah, definitely.
So the house was basically the foundation of the great Australian dream. You wanted your own house, a fella, and a couple of kids.
Yeah.
And that's all you wanted. So I know you could go to uni and do this, but to you, this is what you wanted.
Yeah, for sure.
And you've never taken any government subsidies?
No.
You weren't selling
Still
drugs?
to this day, never.
You weren't selling drugs to do it or anything else? This was just, you were just working and saving. And finally at 23, which is remarkable, you managed to get a house. How did that happen?
So even before getting the license, because it was a bit of an epiphany moment. I remember standing on the checkouts at Woolworths, and this was well before like self-serve. Now it's all self-serve at Belmont. This was at Belmont Woolworths, and so I remember like looking up and like at the lights that are physically on the roof, and I was like, oh my God, my dad drives trucks.
Yeah.
I'm going to get my truck license. So I called up Canberra and Maddox.
And this is because you thought there'd be money, not because you fantasize about driving trucks. This is because it pays better.
Yeah, it pays better.
So you're going to work a job you don't want to do in order to try achieve the great Australian dream.
Yeah. But I also I do genuinely love driving. I love driving. Like, I have a bit of a joke. I call it like my happy drug. Like you can drive,
cool. Handy when you're a bus driver to love driving.
Yeah. And it is, it's powerful when you do something that you love to do.
Yeah, cool.
Look, in every job there's, you might not like every single aspect of the job,
Absolutely.
but I really love driving.
Absolutely.
So I can't really like have too much of that. For me at least. There's some people like, oh, take the keys.
Yeah. So you get the job.
Yeah.
And then how long after getting the job did you get the loan for the house?
It was so I got into training in April, and I think it was about November that I was putting the application through for the Commodore Homes, I think it was.
And you told me you didn't think you'd get it.
No, I didn't have any intention that I was going to be approved.
So you're just taking a punt?
Yeah, just like, oh yeah, I'll just like go for that bit on that horse and see if Seabiscuit wins.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And it did.
Yeah.
And you had a house built.
Yep.
What was it like turning up, watching the house that you're going to own being built? What was that like?
Incredible. Like going from like dirt, nothing, to very exciting.
And in your head, were you sort of decorating it already, or you could see kids running through it? So all your dreams were manifesting in there.
Yeah. Even I remember even going to BGC in the city, and needing to pick like the colours and all the stuff and everything. And there was this typical situation where you know, this couple were having this kind of bickering situation. Like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. And I'm just like, yep, I'll choose that and that and that. You know, and it was literally like that for
And was that
me.
fun?
That was a huge amount of fun.
Really?
Yeah.
So, wow, okay. What was it like when you first moved in? And suddenly there you are.
Surreal.
It's my dream.
Yeah.
I'm in a part of my dream.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm just missing the family.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, it was just, I suppose I just never really thought much more into it. I just, like going to work, going home, and that was, previous to moving in, I was living at my parents at the time, granny flat, so at least I was able to live there on my own, and also I had a horse at the time as well on my spread breaks. I would saddle up and go ride my horse, and there was actually one time I actually rode my horse into the depot, and I've got a photo of me and Mum in the depot. You could actually shut the gates and everything, and there we were, like, on our two horses and stuff. And I can't stress enough, I wouldn't have done that had I, if the horse, if I felt that the horse was not, safe around the, heavy vehicles and stuff, it wouldn't have happened. But these days it's safety this, safety that. And again, never disregarding that, but, it was just pretty cool to have
When you're in your house, though, what was it like to be in your own house and suddenly you got to decorate it? I mean, couches, beds. I mean, did you have the furniture, or were you buying it or saving up for it?
I didn't really go too berserk with the furniture and everything else. It was pretty skeleton for the most part. I pretty much just kind of kept with paying for it, and just
Right, because the payments were that high. You said initially it was interest only?
Yeah, initially it was interest only, $1,100 a month. And then when the interest finished, that interest period finished, it was about $1,800 a month for the payments. I'd never really kind of thought too much more into, what else to plan for. So I didn't really do much else. Pretty lazy as far as like putting anything else in it, and stuff like that. Just focusing on the paying it down. And
so how long did you have this house before the COVID turned up?
8 years.
8 years.
And that's including the build. So from 2013, I sold in February 2022.
And have you missed a repayment or anything like that?
There was one time that I was a little bit late. It wasn't by much, but I made arrangements with the bank to sort things out. That was like between, jobs and stuff like that. But it was all manageable and worked out. It was stressful. I remember, like, there was one time I was sitting in the hallway just thinking, like, how, I'm just doing all this for bricks and a and a slab kind of thing. The stress was a lot, but I managed to get through that, and but there was abundance of jobs and abundance of everything. There was certainly no comparison to what we went through in 2020.
And then you're with so you're working as the bus driver. And you're with Transdev. So where were you driving all over Perth, or just certain routes?
So I was based in the Fremantle depot. Apparently it's one of the biggest depots in Australia. Don't quote me on that, but it's pretty big.
Where was your house?
Hilbert.
So how far from Hilbert to?
About half an hour.
Okay.
Yeah. So a good little drive. I remember thinking to myself, because, there's a bit of a running joke, particularly with WA, like, oh, Aberdeen, we must never go there. And where do I buy? Near Aberdeen. So, but yeah, I mean, I remember when that particular built-up area was like nothing. There was like maybe one or two houses, and now it's just built up heaps, and that was that. I was told about that, but I wasn't prepared for, obviously, the COVID stuff and like how things ended up, but we'll get to that.
Well, let's get to that now. So when COVID first came, you actually ran an ad promoting the vaccine. Which we're going to play.
And then you should be proud
of what you are doing for your city.
For providing essential service
and keeping Melbourne moving during this crisis.
We know it isn't easy.
especially for those of you on the front lines. But hang in there.
This will all be behind you soon enough.
In meantime, please stay safe.
And remember that your Transdev teams in
Perth,
Auckland.
Alexa. And Sydney.
I'm rooting for you.
We're all in this fight against COVID together.
and we hope to see you soon.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Well, I remember being in the lunchroom, and the lady said, "Did anyone want to be on the advertisement?" So she never said anything about the COVID rollout or anything like that. It was
Okay.
purely, did you want to be on the advertisement? I thought, oh, well, I've been working at, same with Woolworths, like, no different. Like, it's just a advertisement. They didn't say specifically, for the COVID stuff or anything like that. I was like, oh, yep, no worries. Like, just me being a bit random kind of thing. And oh, that sounds fun. And, it'd be great to, be on, like support them like they've supported me and stuff like that. And it wasn't until afterwards that I realised what I was actually
Well, let's get to there
advertising.
now. So you decided not to take it,
Yeah, no.
and we'll get to why later.
Mm.
You decided not to take it.
Mm.
Now, is this the first time in your life that you actually said no to the government?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
So up to date, you've been compliant. You haven't had any trouble with the police
No.
and any of this. You're just a
Yeah, it'd be pretty
hard
hard to
You're
drive
just a
buses.
hard-working young Australian woman
Yeah.
trying to carve out her own Australian dream. That's it.
Yeah.
And then you finally say no to the government.
Mm.
And what happens to your job?
They ended up going through with the termination.
Did you try reasoning with them?
There was a lot of different remedies, and the Red Union stepped in because it appeared the Transport Workers Union completely sold out, and I actually spoke to the Transport Workers Union representative in person. I happened to finish a shift. I can remember it like it was yesterday. I finished at about 1:30, and he was in the representative who was representing Rockingham, Fremantle, and Joondalup at the time. Joondalup since got sold to Swan, so I think Swan's running Joondalup now. So yeah, a lot of buses, a lot of people that he was representing.
So there's a lot of drivers that didn't want to take it.
I'm not sure exactly how many.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a lot. I would like to hope that there would be a lot more than what because again, there's so much censorship. It's hard to know, the real story of a lot of things.
So how long did it take them once you decided no, how long did it take them to sack you?
The mask mandates, for example, like every time they put a lockdown in for that, they would stand me down so I couldn't drive, and that I can't remember how
Okay.
many lockdowns.
Would they pay you for that?
No, I used my sick leave.
Oh, your sick leave. So
Yeah.
you're chewing through your sick leave. You've
Yep.
got 8 years worth of sick leave.
Yep.
You're chewing through that.
Yeah.
Now, with your mortgage,
Mm.
how many payments were you ahead? Had you managed to get 3 or 4 payments ahead, or were you just monthly by month?
Monthly at the time. Yeah.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you realised that you were going into harm's way because if they sack you,
Yeah.
then suddenly you don't have a way to pay your mortgage.
Yeah. Yeah.
And is that what happened? Did
Yeah.
they finally sack you?
Yeah. They
And-
terminated me.
How did you go with your mortgage once they sacked you? Was there any I don't know, long service or anything?
No. It's just whatever I had in the bank at the time, and it just wasn't worth. I'm like, it's not worth me. I didn't think about again, it was just me, and I can't stress enough, I'm the only one in my family that is awake at
Or
this
the
level.
only one that said no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so it's pretty hard to have support because there's,
Everyone's just telling you to get the jab.
some people to this day still think that I should have had to this very day, to this
Yeah.
very moment that.
But that is your choice as a human being.
That's right.
My
And
body, my choice.
yeah, but
Yeah.
to have that stance that, well, you should have taken this because you would have not been where you are now. Then
So
it's
how did it
just,
feel for you to be sitting in the house you spent 8 years paying off,
Mm,
and you're sitting in it
yeah.
and you're realizing I can't afford the mortgage?
Oh,
What was that like?
pretty BS, to be honest. I'm like, if this is the price that I've got to pay to have basic necessities, then I fear for, if I'm not a mum, I don't have kids, but,
But this is still, you'd worked your ass off for this. I'm sorry. You'd worked like crazy to save up for it. You
yeah,
paid it off.
yeah,
Like you said, you've scrimped and saved.
mm,
You didn't spend much money on decorating it up because I think you're probably spending it on the mortgage.
yeah.
So
Mm.
was it a quick decision to go, I've got to sell it, or did,
It was quick in the sense that I wanted to just eliminate the stress, and it
Okay.
stayed pretty dark at the time. It wasn't like a regular, I haven't been terminated before, but like, it wasn't just like a regular termination. I mean, the whole world was locked down. It was pretty dark. I didn't think that there was, I just didn't think that, oh, okay, like look for another job, or do you know what I mean? Like,
Well, it would have
thinking
been hard
back,
to find another job because every job required
yeah,
vaccination.
yep,
So suddenly,
yeah,
in that you're an Australian, a
yeah,
hard-working Australian young woman, and suddenly you're an economic leper,
yeah, outcast,
an outcast,
yeah,
just for saying no, and yet you've grown up in a society your age
yeah,
where, due to the abortion laws,
yeah,
everything is like my body, my choice. The government has been pushing it. Everyone's been pushing all the feminist movement.
yeah,
And suddenly you decide no, and the government's going,
that's right.
out you
Yeah.
go. What was that like, being that ostracized? And especially with family as well, everyone thinking you're crazy. What was that like?
Pretty, what's the word? Aggravating. I mean, I'm no kidding. Like, I'm not only, this is myself, I've got the bus to think about, the passengers, the children on the bus, the people in the buildings.
So you take all that
Yeah.
you take that responsibility seriously. The kids
Massively.
on the bus. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're a good bus driver.
I'd like to think so.
Yeah, okay.
We've all had our moments, but
Yeah.
yeah,
So it's not the kicking you out because you're a bad bus driver. The kicking you out simply because of a choice.
yeah,
But
yeah,
what I get to is, when you made that moment to sell the house,
yeah,
that must have taken some real strength and resilience to get through that and not either give in and go get vaccinated,
yeah, no,
or to just not give in total.
yeah.
So what was your thought process or your feelings when you're suddenly going, okay, I'm going to lose my house?
It was pretty horrible, but I knew that, there was a lot of beliefs that, I needed to do this, and I'm like, I'm just not going to. It's just not going to happen. Even there was a couple of drivers that, there was one driver I was going to do the missed out Pfizer joke, and he had 2 jabs and half his face was drooping.
Bell's palsy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just, I go from wanting to have this kind of playful joke and realizing that he'd taken the jabs, and he explained that this was why I took the, what happened as a result of the jabs, and I'm just like, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know, there's just something in my spirit, my
Yeah, I
being,
get that. Yeah, no
yeah,
problem. But I'm just interested in how you felt as a human being,
yeah,
realizing
ripped off.
you're going to be ripped off.
Yeah.
And so did it take long to sell?
No, it was pretty much a first, as soon as
And where did you move to after that? Did your parents let you back in the granny flat?
No, they sold that house since then. I ended up going to Canberra for the February 12th.
Okay, but what about all the stuff in your house? Did you have to put in storage or something?
I had a couple of bus driver friends who ended up helping me out while I went to Canberra. So yeah, it was very much an active month
Yeah,
for
I
me.
bet. But you had to actually move everything out.
Yeah.
What was that like? I'm
s-
just very interested in the moment
yeah,
where,
no, that's okay.
because we live lives with stories here. Like,
Yeah.
people can be married to someone, and then the
Yeah.
marriage ends and go, oh, I thought we were going to be married for life.
Yeah.
Now I've got a new story.
Yeah,
And this is a moment you thought this was going to be your house, you're going to have kids there,
that's
and
right.
suddenly
Mm,
the story's ending. It's just like ending. No,
yeah.
what was that like, leaving the house, like the last time, looking and going, okay, that's
Yeah.
a past story now.
It's I mean, because my whole body being is so number one,
Yeah.
it's almost trivial in the sense.
All right. So
But because it's a materialistic thing, but at the same time, it
there was a resilience in
horrible
you
to
that just said, that's it.
No way. Yeah.
That's how it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you must have heard about the Canberra
Yeah.
rally.
Yeah.
And so why did you decide to go to Canberra? Were you just wanting to be heard?
Yeah, there was like this huge pull that like I could feel
Yeah.
like a spiritual pull to
Yeah, I had
go.
it too. I experienced that. Yeah.
And I yeah, I mean, I didn't even have a Telegram at the time, so I loaded up Telegram and they were talking about something about a convoy, so I didn't even know about that. And even the day before, I had my 2 cats at home, and
Yeah.
so I couldn't even leave unless I took care of the cats. So I mean,
Yeah.
it was all very much last minute and getting this, all these situations sorted. The stuff moved from the house and like everything. There was all that going on, and so I had my bus driver friends ended up, coming through and helping out and
Yeah, cool.
moving things where they saw it best.
Now you've only got a little car. What
Yeah.
it's not a little Jazz or something like that.
Yeah.
And
Little
you drove
3-door.
yourself to Canberra.
Yep.
Wow. Even though you knew that you might not be able to get back in because the borders were closed.
Yeah.
You still decided. Have you ever done anything that dramatic before where you've just
Never.
gone up? Never. So this calling was really
Yeah.
loud in you.
Massive. Yeah.
So what was the journey like going to Canberra?
It was loads of fun. I remember we had like a meeting on the 8th, I think it was, in Midland. And yeah, I remember thinking like on the morning of, so I got everything cleaned up the day before, it was vacuuming the car at like 9 o'clock at night, and like packing everything at 9 o'clock at night. And I thought to myself, if I sleep in the following day, then too bad, I've missed it, like, oh well. But I woke up on my alarm and drove down and we had our like pre-meeting and stuff like that. And yeah, it was a pretty big. I mean, it's a 4,000-kilometer trip. It's not like,
It's a
2
long
hour.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many days did it take you?
I think it took about 3 days. So we left on the 8th, and February 12th was, obviously 4 days from then. So
Yeah. And any incidents on the way?
no. Apart from, I remember the bus, the high beams stayed on, and
Oh, really?
at one point, throughout the night, and so I had to like pull over and.
The bus, you mean the car?
No, there was a bus as part of the convoy.
Oh, and the bus high beams were stuck on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So I had
dangerous.
to like pull over and like make sure that was fixed. But it was all there was all things that
minor
like,
things.
people fixed up along the way. It's amazing, like people just have a brain and use it.
Yeah. Well, you've been cast out of society.
Yeah.
So what was it like reaching Canberra
Mm.
and finding so many people like you? What was that like turning up and finding so many people on your wavelength?
Oh, it was incredible. It was like nothing I've ever experienced before.
No, me
but
neither.
there was so many people.
And were you welcomed, or did they go, "Oh, you..."
Oh, massively, yeah. I mean, there was a lot of different vibes, I mean, obviously people comes from all walks of life and whatnot, but I remember like some of the buses were massive, and like it was huge. Like the Epic was amazing, and like the amount of people that were like flooding in and stuff. Because
Did you feel welcome?
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. It was loads of fun. Hung out with a few people there, and yeah.
And how long were you there in total?
I was over in Canberra for. I was over there for quite a while, like a couple of months.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a few months.
Living in
the-
like the Chook Farm or all the other places like this?
I stayed with our convoy group for a while, and so we like hung out together for that time. And
By that time, the border must have been open, so you just came back?
no, I ended up staying over there for a bit
Yeah.
longer, and
But when you got back, so you come back to here, your house is gone, you're unemployed.
yeah.
Now, I know you made a little bit of money from your house,
Mm.
which you said wasn't enough to buy another one.
No.
And so when you get back here to this state,
Mm.
how do you start putting your life back together?
So at the time I moved back in with my mum and stepdad up at so about half an hour out of Midland. And that was the only place I could stay. And if it wasn't for family being there, I probably wouldn't have come back, because I mean, you can work anywhere, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was that was the reason why I came back, and yeah, so
Yeah, and moving back with family can be tough when you've
yeah,
left the nest and got independent in this. So that must
yeah,
have been tough too.
yeah.
Did you decide to move out of there and get
Particularly when they
some
all
of your own
believe.
place?
Oh,
When they don't believe what you believe, yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
did you find another place to live, a rental or anything?
I did end up finding a place. Yeah, I found a place where I could stay on my own. But I mean, you got to be thankful for everything these days. You got to be thankful for everything generally anyway. But yeah, you know, the level of living, how do you call it? Yeah, the level of
And this was like your own flat or a share house? Or
no, it wasn't my own. Somebody else's flat.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you had a room in a flat.
No, like a granny flat situation.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, but you've got what you've got these days. You know, it's so hard to find your own space.
Yeah.
Like more than not, pretty much what you used to pay for a granny flat, you having to pay with a share house these days. And
Yeah, wow.
yeah, so it was just by luck that I managed to find that place. And yeah, so because since
And then work, you managed to get some work.
yeah, I've kept employed, so at least the bus industry has been pretty easy to keep being employed in. Yeah,
So you're working for, we won't say which one, but you got a job with another company then.
yeah,
Yeah. Does it pay the same?
it doesn't pay the same. It's not like with Transperth, like you're in the kind of thick of it all the time, like you're really, you know, out in the main roads and stuff. So in that aspect, the pay is justified. But yeah, so that would be probably the main reason why we don't get paid as much.
So did you decide to start trying to fight back to buy another house, or the house is now just unaffordable?
No, it's like even if you do get a mortgage, like apparently they can just, you know, we'll just crank up the interest rates to whatever we prefer to crank them up to, and you know, I've had people paying like $4,000 a month just to pay for a mortgage, and it's like, you know, okay, sure, but you know, if I knew what I know now, you know, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but I would have just saved up the $350 and just paid it out, kind of thing. It would have not
and bought the house for cash.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You know,
Yeah.
at least, you know, like you own it, you've only got the rates to pay or whatever. And,
Yeah. And you said you're 35 now and you still want kids. So you're in this sort of dilemma now that if you want children, you should be having them now
yeah.
rather than saving up for a house another 10 years. And is that still part of the dream that you'd like?
Yeah, I'd love to be a mum. Yeah, it's one of those situations though that you need to be funded. You need to have somewhere to stay. You need to be on the same page with, you know, everything. With yeah, and yeah, the world ideally needs to be, you know, enough aligned with what you're standing for in order to have that be feasible, in order for it to be safe for your children.
And you said something beautiful about what you think of mass migration. You actually like the fact that people are coming here. What did you say?
I appreciate the fact that a lot of people find this country like beautiful enough to want to come here. I find that to be a huge compliment. However, you know, we don't know people's agendas, you know, and it's hard to tell whether they have Australians' best interests at heart. And I'm talking about people that are born here, you know, and yeah, so it's
also the numbers coming in. Like there was something came out recently that the government has been given new home deals, new home grants to new migrants,
right,
and yet you're here wanting a house. You've already lost one because you said no to the government.
Yeah.
And you're back living in a granny flat.
Oh, I'm not living at that granny flat now. Yeah, but
So where are you living now? Have you managed to get back into your own place?
no. not yet. So it's yeah, because again, they're just making things so expensive. So
So you
yeah,
were saying that you just have a room somewhere, so now you just like a room in a house.
I stay with my
Yeah.
partner.
So it's tough.
So yeah,
It's tough.
mm.
Do you think, when you were young, did you think the government cared for people when you were young?
Yeah, I never really had any red flags enough that I was told about, or that caused me to kind of think that was enough to, you know, I mean, this was like a, death threat basically. I mean,
Do you think the government cares for you now?
well, if they're not going to first apologize for what they've done, no.
No, so that's where you come in.
Mm.
So because the other thing is, like, when you drove across to Canberra,
Yeah.
you must have seen how much space this country has.
Mm.
And so there's plenty of places for houses.
Yep.
And you must have seen that underneath all those kilometres you drove, is tons of mineral wealth.
Yep.
So we should be the Saudi Arabia of the Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah.
And instead, we did the maths. Australia owes 1.3 trillion, which means you owe the world $46,000.
Right.
That's what the maths. Yeah. Do you feel that you've
Do they
squandered?
take cash?
Yeah. Do you feel like you've squandered $46,000?
Oh, with what?
I don't know. Do you that's a part of what you owe to the world? Do you feel that that's your part of the national debt? You know.
Oh, okay. If they can itemize that, that'd be good.
So here's where you are.
Yeah.
Do you feel that the government's doing a good job in the last few years that we're here? I know it's a loaded question.
No, not at all. It's yeah. Well, I mean, my biggest thing is my kind of cornerstone, if you like, is determination, and if they can have this much reach over my health, and I've got to save up however much for a lawyer, or which hopefully has my back. I mean, what if they don't?
Well, let's get back to that. So, do you feel the government is justified to tell you you've got to put this into your body to keep your life, to keep your job, and to achieve your dreams? We demand now that you have to take this thing into your body. Do you feel that that's not fair?
No, definitely not. Yeah, you can't. I couldn't imagine, saying, right, you've got to take this in. I couldn't imagine. Like, you could pay me all the world's wealth in gold, not even fiat money, and I still just. How do you sleep at night?
So you just had a determination, and for some reason you didn't want this thing.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
On principle.
Yeah.
No. I don't know how it's going to react with my body. Like, once it's in your body, I mean, no kidding, it's in your body. It's flowing throughout your veins. Like, and that's why I said to the Transport Workers Union representative, I said, so what if I have an adverse reaction and, drive off the road into a building, crashing through cars and other buses and God knows what.
And did any of this resonate with them?
He just went red-faced and didn't answer the question, and I didn't keep pressing it. I just left the room because it was quite heated from his end, and I just I don't know. No one likes arguments. No normal person likes arguments, and so I'm just like, you should. And the thing is, like 2 years prior, like we actually stood up as bus drivers. Like we actually stood up at rallies together to stand up for bus drivers 2 years prior. And I mean, I remember I got pulled into the office for wearing the crown. I bought like a $2-3 crown from Red Dot or whatever it was, and the boss was like, oh, and the Transport Workers Union representative happened to be there at that particular. He could have been in Joondalup or in Rockingham. He happened to be in Fremantle on that particular day where I got pulled into the office, and I'm not. I can only ever speculate that I may not have been able to go to work that day because they didn't want me, that particular boss did not want me to wear the crown. And anyway, I mean, it's like free dress. And the transport union representative, he said, well, it doesn't actually state
You can't wear a crown.
in the contract,
Yeah.
right? You know, reading here with my eyes, right? It doesn't say that no crown is permitted.
Yeah.
So I made a point of wearing the crown pretty much every day. I wore the vest, the fluoro vest, and I'm driving throughout. This is not only, you know, a multi-billion-dollar company. This is Transperth. We're like, you know, mini skirt or like, you know, like, you know, this is stuff that you can wear. You know, you can't just, you know, like we're there to basically, you know,
transport people around
and stand up for our rights as a driver.
Yeah.
You know, we're allowed to not wear a name badge. We're allowed to wear the fluoro vest. I mean, the company apparently gets a fine, a $200 fine for not wearing a name badge alone. And I'm not wearing a name badge. Yeah, and this is not just me. We've got like 50 buses parked up in the yard at any one time because drivers are pulling stoppages. Like you could call up 2 minutes before you start your shift and pull a stop for 3 hours. And then they would have other drivers ready at the depot to cover those. And then we would just work.
Yeah.
So they're paying twice.
Yeah.
So we were, but we had the backing, or I call it back when we had the illusion of the backing from the Transport Workers Union.
Yeah.
And then they sold out.
And
the
they had no
jabs.
discussion about the jabs or anything? You didn't sit down, they just told you?
Yep.
So there's no formal control?
Yep.
Where do you see yourself going?
And they're lawyers, like, you know.
Yeah. Where do you see yourself going forward now in the future of this country? Because you still, all you really... You're not greedy. You don't play the victim. You've been a law-abiding citizen.
Yeah.
Your only crime in the government's eyes is you finally said no because you want to decide what goes in your body or not.
Yep.
You've lost your house. You've lost your job. You've endured incredible being ostracized.
Yeah. Put on the cross, if you will.
Yeah, so how do you see yourself going forward now? Because you still want a family, and all you want is the Australian dream, which you were promised when you were a kid.
Yeah.
How do you see yourself going forward now? Or what do you think is forward for the country now?
All my brain thinks about now is I've got to have like $5 million to do anything. And it's like, I've got to literally, I mean, I remember I actually watched the, one of the, Christ movies. It's free on YouTube. I forget what it's called, but anyway, because that's literally how I feel. Like I'm going through the crowd, and you know, he's getting like, you know, rocks thrown at him. He's getting taken the piss out of by so many people, and I'm like that. You know, then he goes on the cross, gets the nails hammered through the thing, and then he comes out of the tomb, and they're like, oh my God, like, you are who you say you are, or whatever. That's like, I watched it because that's literally how I felt. So still feel to this day. I'm not saying that's, you know, I'm some image or whatever. That's just how I feel, and yeah, I assert that's how a lot of people that are woken up to things feel, because yeah, it's like we get mocked, ridiculed, laughed at, but I'm not being paid by anyone. I'm not doing this for followers or likes, but if, you know...
That's just the truth. That's what you went through. Can I ask, you made a decision to not comply, and this series is about the price of compliance and non-compliance.
Yeah.
How have you changed as a human from before you'd heard of COVID to now with this odyssey you've been on? How have you changed, for better or worse?
It's just... I suppose the one thing that's there for me is, thank God I have my health. If I didn't have my health, I wouldn't be able to, you know, probably still drive a bus, and you know, there's plenty of people that, you know, have up to 5 and 7 and God knows how many more, right? But yeah, you know, like, I need my health in order to smash out the hours and save up, and I don't even know. I just don't know. There's so many. There's more questions than answers.
Yeah.
As far as
But do you regret not taking it? Do you wish you could go back and taken it?
No.
So you're
No.
even though it's been hard, Even though it's been difficult,
Yeah.
you're okay with the fact that you paid the price.
Yeah.
So that's how much your own body integrity means to you.
I wish I had equity in my house. I wish that I'd, smashed out, more months of the
You
mortgage.
didn't have a time.
Yeah, I didn't.
And how much? And the house now is worth a lot more, apparently.
$600,000 more than when I sold it 4 years ago, and
Wow.
it's still climbing. So
Wow. That must be very hard to see that.
it's it's pretty. And I'm like, not to take the piss out of Armadale again, but like, Armadale, like, okay, sure, if I'm going to spend $1 million, I might spend it, like,
Subiaco or something.
yeah, like somewhere that's nice,
Yeah.
like, you got the cop shop up the road. Nothing against that, but like, seriously, like maybe some nice scenery, like the beach.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
there's some like horses in the paddock and like, somewhere nice, like a scenic area. Like, yeah, I mean, I didn't have any issues around that particular. It's like Hilbert's a little bit out of like this Armadale, and it's about 10-ish k's
Yeah.
out. So there's it's still a nice enough area, but I mean it's got a lot of like cameras like everywhere else. It's got camera
everywhere.
city everywhere now. And yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, I'd like to see scenery and nature, and yeah, when you're around nature, you kind of you remember who you are because like that cat or that dog or that horse doesn't care two hoots about anything else. It's like,
Well, can I ask you something else? Because the other thing too is that there's a lot of young people now don't want to have children
yeah,
because they say the world's too dark and everything's too expensive. But if you had the chance, would you still become a mother?
I would love to be a mum. I would like, this is I'm 35. I would love to be a mum. Biologically, I should be able to do that now. But, I mean, I've had a bit of a concern that, since I had the cervical cancer injections back in 2009, because I listened to the radio and believed that, now I call it crap at the time. Oh, crap, I call it now, but at the time.
So now you're dubious of all vaccines
Yeah,
because of the way they've treated this
yeah,
one.
yeah.
So the way they've treated you for not taking this one has made you dubious of all of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's got to be holistic. It's got to be, people that are awake and aware at this level, and they're my favorite people now.
Yeah. I
My new
hope.
family.
Is there anything else you'd like to say about your journey to here? Like anything you've discovered about yourself? Have you come up with new strengths? Are you surprised that you'd be able to get through? Or did you always know you were strong?
This is a new muscle I've learned about myself, but I've kept well away from debt. I want to stay away from debt and just keep saving.
So you're clawing your way back. You haven't quit. You're just picking
No.
yourself up off the canvas
Yeah,
and you're trying to claw your way back.
yeah, pretty much.
And the only thing in your way of that is the way the government's running the country.
Yeah.
If Transdev suddenly came up and said, listen, it was a crazy time, there was a pandemic, no one knew what to do, we were following government orders, but we've looked back, you were a great bus driver, you're a really good bus driver, those things have gone now. Would you be up if they said, look, would you want to come back? Would you be up to considering coming back?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, I wish you the best.
Yeah, thank you.
I really wish you
Thank
the best.
you.
I do.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for the interview.
That's
Yeah,
great. Thank you.
no worries.
Thanks for the coffee.
No worries.